My name is Specialist Painter, and we will be going over a brief about education and training, their differences, their similarities, and their benefits. Before we get started, the risk assessment for this briefing is low. There are some safety considerations to keep in mind. There are low-lying ceiling fans, so please be aware of them. There are also trip hazards. Extension cords are clearly marked with safety tape so that you are not to trip over them. Fire, or in case of a fire or other emergency, we will exit the building out of the main entrance, gain accountability, and await further instruction. In the case of an active shooter, we will lock and barricade the door, gain accountability of everyone in the room, and await further instruction from law enforcement. In the case of severe weather, in the basement, which is just down the hall and to the right, there is a storm shelter. We will gather there, gain accountability, and await the storm. Also, please be considerate of the environment. We need to reduce, reuse, and recycle. If you have a disposable container, please make sure that it is appropriated to the proper receptacle. At the end of this presentation, you will understand how education and training work better together, as opposed to placing an emphasis on one term over the other. The learning objective: action to demonstrate an understanding of the definitions of education and training. Condition: as a soldier or person, you are expected to be attentive and participate. And the standard: the attendance of this brief will have a working knowledge of education and training and how together is more beneficial. What is the definition of education? Webster's Dictionary defines the process of education as receiving or giving systematic instruction, especially at a school or university. Coincidentally, the same publication defines training as the action of teaching a person or animal a particular skill or type of behavior. The importance in understanding these terms is understanding their key differences. Education primarily focuses on theory, whereas training focuses on practical application. What can happen when education and training are emphasized separately? An inability to critically think in situations that require more reliance on one term over the other. An example of this: a combat soldier has been placed in the S3 shop due to medical reasons. Their work environment has changed. If only trained in how to do their duties, there may not be a working knowledge of social conduct in the office setting. This can create friction in the new working environment. How can these be utilized? An example of utilizing education and training can be seen in the automotive industry. A trained mechanic can change parts but may not understand the theory behind the problem. This could cause issues later. The master mechanic not only has had training over years of working, there is a working understanding and knowledge and theory. This leads to effective diagnosis and troubleshooting. More examples of utilization as compared and related to the military. During the early days of the Iraq War, combat arms were prevalent. Often the infantry companies on the front were more focused on accomplishing the mission than had to do with their type of training. Often singular military occupational codes, or MOS, individuals are often only trained not educated. This in turn causes a lack of and well-roundedness. Later during the conflict, due to overtraining and lack of education, collateral damage was overwhelming. To mitigate this, the military police corps was used to educate other MOST soldiers. Due to the nature of the training of the military police, they are well versed in critical thinking, adaptability, and well-roundedness. Through this effort, there was a decline in collateral damage for the duration of conflict. The military has an adaptive culture and also flexible. Without education, this is not possible. There are different types of education, but the two that I want to primarily focus on for this brief: traditional education, such as a school or a university, and social education, focusing on etiquette and interaction. Over the last several years, the military has placed more emphasis on post-secondary education for its enlisted soldier. More college-based courses, leadership courses, from basic leaders course all the way through master's leaders course. How does this apply to the soldier? The soldier in critical thinking and forethought, being able to think beyond the bullets, and being able, in adapting the soldier to the situation at hand rather than adapting the situation to the soldier. Action as opposed to reaction. And the benefits of this. They're abstract thinking, adaptability, and well-roundedness. In summary, abstract and critical thinking, adaptability, and well-roundedness, due to a conjunction of training with education, are pivotal in creating the best soldier that this military has. Are there any questions? Thank you. Again, my name is Specialist Painter, and this has been a brief on education over training. Thank you.